What is going on, you guys? I'm coming to you today with a Legion Rebel Swarm build, and it's going to be a fun one today. I'm only going to use stuff that's currently available, and I'm going to basically try to go for a very, very high unit count, and I'm just going to have fun with it. So be a little bit diverse here in the different stuff that we're bringing. I'm not just going to run, 6, Rebel Troopers and just, run as many units as possible, because you can get an awful lot. But we're going to do that. Before I jump into it, there is still another giveaway going on right now, so you can enter to win that and win a gaming expansion of your choice in the form of a $25 Cool Stuff gift card. All it takes is to become a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos, and I typically announce the winners at the end of my videos, so make sure you stay tuned for that. That being said, I'm using Tabletop Admirals Builder, and I will put a link to this in the video description as well. So one of the things we're going to do here is I want to use some of the slightly newer stuff. So I'm going to use Han Solo, even though I think if you're trying to completely maximize units, you're going to go with all the cheapest stuff, right? You can just run Leia, 3 naked ATRTs, a whole bunch of naked Rebel Troopers, and a whole bunch of stuff like that, and completely get a bare bones list. I think you can get somewhere around 14 activations. I'm not going to go quite that high because I do want a little bit of meat and potatoes, so to speak, in this list. But I will put Han on here and Leia. I'm going to run 2 commanders, which you can do now because they're so cheap. It's you can run 2 commanders since you don't have to run Luke now. And this is also going to give me a lot of versatility as far as command cards. So that's another good thing, and I can spread myself out, and I can have access to to give orders to a lot of different units. But also it gives me a lot of fun. Han Solo is really got some great command cards, and so we're going to take a look at all of those. Although this doesn't necessarily mean we're going to use exactly all of Han and Leia's cards, because granted, if I'm running Han, let's say I start using Han Solo's command cards, and then Leia dies on turn 3, well then I can't use her command cards anymore. So I might actually put some generics in there as well. All right. Now for upgrades for these, I'm going to keep Leia without any upgrades, but I am going to give Han Solo duck and cover. This is going to work really, really well with his low profile. This means anytime he gets shot, he can just opt to take a suppression from duck and cover and gain heavy cover anywhere, even out in the middle of open wherever, as long as whoever's shooting him doesn't have sharpshooter. So I like duck and cover for Han, to keep him survivable. I think Leia will more than likely just kind of stay out of the way, and and that's how we're gonna go with these two. And they're both gonna do different actions. Han will be more of the shooter, like the lead, and Leia will stay kind of in the rear, assigning dodges. But she won't stay too far back. I think she'll kind of go with him because they can work well together. And they should, because they make crazy little babies that grow up and destroy planets and entire systems. So that's fun. All right, so Rebel Troopers. I'm going to put some Rebel Troopers on this in this build. Let's start off with I'm going to do them in groups of 2. I think for my core units, I'm going to make I want to do some Z6s. Z6s are really good. It's probably one of the best upgrades in the entire game. And I'll add the extra Rebel Trooper. And I love the Z6 Troopers. It's just, that one guy gives you more than a full Stormtrooper unit. You don't get the offensive surge, but it's okay. I'll take the regular dice just because that's great. I love it. And I tend to have pretty good luck with those dice also. I'm going to put 2 of those. So I'm going to run 2 units of Z6s. And I will also go ahead and run 2 cheaper units. I am going to have 2 just basic Rebel Trooper units without any upgrades. And these are going to be my objective hunters. These are going to be the guys that are just moving across the board, trying to hide behind blocking terrain, trying to get, either pick up objectives or maintain base contact with an objective, or do something like that. They're not there to be my main shooters, but they're also there to be activations if I needed to, without necessarily going full-blown spam. I am going to have just the 2 unupgraded Rebel Troopers. I'm going to run 6 core though, so for my last 2, I'm going to run Fleet Troopers, and the Fleet Troopers are going to be, I think I'm going to run these 2 the same. Instead of Scattergun, I think I'm going to run the Barrage Trooper, And the idea here is I do want some vehicle defense, and I think this is going to offer some good, especially if I have 2 of these. They've got range up to 3, and they've got impact 2 and blast also. So if I end up going up against like snow speeders or something like that, I can do that, or speeder bikes, or any of those repulsor vehicles that want to get that free cover. They'll ignore the cover from that. It's also just nice to shoot somebody behind a barricade or something too. So I like blast. This is just a good one to have, and we'll add the extra fleet trooper as well. Make them a tough unit, and I'm going to duplicate that as well. Now the fleet troopers are normally only range 2, but I've got for the range 3 attacks, I've got the Z6s. For the closer range attacks, I got the fleet troopers, and for the if I need to just charge somebody into a mine or something like that, I've got rebel troopers for that purpose. Now we're at 618 already. Now we're going to add some rebel commandos, and I'm going to go ahead and go with strike teams, and I'm going to add 3 proton charge saboteurs. The reason I'm tripling down on the proton charge saboteurs is that I want at least 3 units with detonate in my list. So this way I can try and drop as many mines as I can, or as many proton charges as I can. But even if I lose a couple of guys after dropping, I'll keep at least 1 safe, and then I can still continue to detonate whenever I need them to. And these guys, plus with their scout too, they're going to go first. They're going to get to those objectives quickly. They're going to mine the heck out of them, put lots of mines in the way, and then back out. And that's that'll be fun. And also in this game that is very infantry heavy, they're going to provide like the best defense against another similar swarm of 14 something activations. They'll just blow up all of your enemy's troops, hopefully, and they have impact 1, so they can actually potentially hurt vehicles as well. So that's also nice. And so we're going to run 3 of these. There we go. So now we've got 3 special forces, 6 core, 2 commanders, and we have just enough points for an ATRT. Primarily because, well, I'm full on just about everything else, and this is going to be my support. Now the ATRT, I don't have points to give it a hard point. So if you really wanted to, you could potentially maybe drop a commander and put 2 ATRTs in and have enough points left over to give them each hard points. You could do that. But I have run ATRTs without hard points at all before, and they are functional. They're not great, but they're functional. They still have a ranged attack of 2 white, and they still have offensive surge to crit, which is actually not bad. I mean, it means they can even potentially shoot vehicles and have a chance of getting some damage through. But one of the things you're going to want to do with these guys is just have them run ahead of some of your units. Maybe your units will be behind and can get light cover behind the ATRT. And also, if you can manage to get up into a melee, they really wreak some havoc when it comes to melee. But it's also another activation. So right now we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 activations. 12 activations is not bad considering we have some quality units here. We have some cheap units too, but this is a good mix of cheap disposable units and quality units, and you're kind of going to want to activate your cheap disposable units early and save your quality units for later on when they have the best shot. Is kind of the thinking behind this. Let's look at command cards now. First off, of course, we're going to have standing orders. I'm going to look at Hans. Now, sorry about the mess. Definitely an almost an auto-include here. Definitely want Hans 1 pip, or it counts as 1 pip, although it's a 0 pip. So that one's always going to go first. That one's awesome. Now, we've also got Hans Reckless Diversion. This one's not bad. It's Han Solo plus a trooper. I think this is one that we could potentially... If we wanted to put some generic command cards in there, this is one that we could consider. But I'll put it in there for right now. I'll put Reckless Diversion in there right now. This is a good one to throw on one of your throwaway infantry units. I'm like, oh no, you have to, like, especially if you want to protect your saboteurs, you want to protect those strike teams. You throw this on one of those throwaway units, and they can basically draw the fire away from your saboteurs, allowing your saboteurs to plant mines and then escape unshot. So that's a good one there. Now we also have the change of plans, which is going to be Han's 3-pip. This is actually a really, really strong card. Just because this is one of the few things that could actually stop an opponent running Sorry About the Mess. This is one of the few things that can stop a 1 or 0 pip. That's really strong. You can just say, no, 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 I don't want you to playing that this turn. Let's change things around. So I like that one as well. We go to Leia's stuff. I definitely want her 1 pip. No, not that. Sorry, no. Leia's 1 pip. Leia's 1 pip. I'm looking right there. Coronated Bombardment. Definitely want that. This is one of the best cards in the game, especially dealing with snipers right now. If your opponent starts with multiple snipers in the corners of the map, she can potentially kill all of them first turn, which is just insane. And this card just existing is one of those things that's going to cause people maybe not to think twice about running that many snipers. So I think we've definitely got to use this one. Now, Leia's 2 and 3 pip is possible to change up. As much as I do like No Time for Sorrows, and what's the other one? What's that? Somebody Has to Save Our Skins. Yeah, I think this is the one. I think we'll drop Somebody Has to Save Our Skins, and then we'll put Assault in there. So I have at least one other generic in case I lose a commander and I need a generic, command card to be able to issue orders a little bit better. And with as many different order command types as I have, I'm definitely going to want to get those, especially when it comes to like mid or late game, and I really want to give my special forces and guarantee that I can get those guys out of the way quickly. I'm not going to want to chance it on losing a commander and then losing, being stuck using standing orders the whole time. Now, I think I will go with Leia's No Time for Sorrows because it's definitely. It's a good card. It's 2 troopers, and I'm very trooper heavy, so it's going to work well with this list. But it's also really going to work very, very well with my special forces. I can give them a thing, have them do a speed 1 move. Now all of a sudden they're in range to drop a bomb, move away, and have it explode. Especially if I do them first, it could end up being like a 3 action for them. As long as I go first. So that's our 7 cards. Again, it's starting to get to the point where you don't automatically use all of your commander's command cards. You especially when they're kind of squishy, like Leia and Han can both be killed, especially if you play them aggressively. You run the risk of being stuck using standing orders the whole time. So I'll put a link to this in the description below. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell for alerts so you don't miss out on the giveaway. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check me out on Crabbok.com and hop in my Discord and say hi there as well. And as a big shout out to my patrons as well. Thank you guys so much for watching and then for supporting this channel. You help make this thing possible. And let me know what you guys are looking forward to next. Are you guys excited about the Clone Wars coming to Legion? I'm very, very excited about that as well. I can't wait to see some of this stuff, and I don't know how long it's going to be, but maybe we'll get some news for it in time for the holidays. That would be a nice little Christmas present. All right, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.